Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I want to do a DIY art journal, an accordion one with you. I've done these several times. If you look in my playlist from last year, you'll find them. And this is just another way, it's just time I felt to do another one. There's a beginning start there on my ruler there, a little bit away from the edge. And I'm just measuring 12 by 12 inches on that paper because I bought a new gel plate, which I am anxious to use. And I wanted to do an art journal 6 by 6 inches to match the size of the Gelli Plate, because I do plan on doing Gelli Plate images, and then instead of pulling them with tissue paper, I'm going to take that plate and put it right down onto the surface of some of these pages. So that's my plan for another series coming for this series. But this first section of it today is just making the book. And it really is easy. Don't be intimidated. Get yourself a big pad of 9 by 12, and that way, this was a larger piece than that, so I'm cutting more paper away. So what I'm measuring back now is 6 inches for height. I already measured 12 for the length, and when I fold that over, it will be a folded page of 6 by 6. I'm using watercolor paper. You could do this with mixed media, but I find with mixed media paper, and it does work, and if you buy, I forget the name of the company, I have purchased accordion sketchbooks from England that were made with mixed media paper. The pages are overlapped and adhered the same way as I'm doing here today, but I like the idea of bulkier paper and something that can hold up to water and staining and dribbles and flows of paint that I'm going to throw at it. So I am using watercolor paper. When you fold that, make sure that both edges are exactly lined up there and then press down. Now, I didn't have my boning stick. I do have one, and I usually use it, but I didn't take the time to stop and go find it out of my cupboard. So I used the end of the ruler, but really a boning stick would be a little better. So anyway, now I have a folded page that is 6 by 6 inches exactly, and I'm going to make several of them. And then what I'm doing there is I'm going to overlap them like that all the way along, so that's how I glue them together, and it makes one long continuous accordion book. Those cut ends, keep those, they make great bookends. So I only cut 6 large papers at the beginning, and I'll show you how quickly you think you've got 6 double pages and that you'll end up with a lot, but by the time you overlap them, which you need to do because this is how you adhere them to each other and make a continuous accordion, so you have to double it up. So that's why 6 pages isn't going to be enough. And I'll show you, I know it might be hard to explain, but this is what I'm going to do, is start to glue them together. And rather than glue all 4 corners of that middle page, I'm going to keep an opening on the top. And the reason why I do that is I like to, if I was to do a travel journal, it would be really wonderful to paint on all the pages as I travel, but use inserts from the top to save souvenirs from that trip. Perhaps information I've gleaned, or a brochure or a pamphlet, maybe a photograph. But I like the idea of having a pocket on the top of each of these pages when it's finished, so that I have that option. I've got really good double-sided tape here, and I will send you a link for the Amazon purchase that I made. I like this brand, and I've bought it. When you order it, I think you get 10 rolls, and it lasts forever. But I have done a lot of bookmaking, and so I ended up having to reorder it once already. So I will send you that link. I find out of all the double-sided tapes, this has got the tackiest surface. If you use the kind that looks like Scotch tape from the office supply store, that's not going to be strong enough. It might be strong enough for a mixed media paper, but not for watercolor paper. So go ahead and look in my notes below, and you'll find the link for this double-sided tape. And it really is superior. I really love it. I love that it's a 1/4 inch wide, so it suits most of my needs. So as you can see now, before I take the protective paper off, I just want to make sure I'm lining up the top, that's where the pocket's going to be. So I've got all 3 sides. Now I have to take off that piece of paper that protects it. Be careful when you do this next step because this is so tacky that it'll even cling to your wrist or your palm or your fingers. So, and also when I go to place down the one paper over the other, only what we're going to do is just line up the tape, the sticky tape on the right side first before I place the whole thing down, because you have to make sure all four sides of that paper line up with the other paper. So it might look like it's going to be touching, but I'm first keeping the left side of the page up high, and I'm just placing it in line with the edge of that tape. Again, I'm not touching right there. So I glue that, I press that down, and then I make sure that all the other edges line up before I press. So there you have it. That's how simple it is. The hardest thing about it is just making sure you line it up nicely. Because when you start working with this book, if they're not lined up right, the book won't function properly. So I'm just showing you with those extra bookend tabs. I'm going to keep those in eventually to keep my eye on focus that they're all on the top. So let's do another one. And the reason why I use that ruler but boning when I folded the paper, then I turned and folded it the other way, that's so that we can easily fold these any way they are needed to make it accordion once this is done. I drew some arrows on the top so that I would remind myself when I put these down, as I go to put the tape down, I want to make sure that I don't put tape on that side, the top side with the arrow. So that's all I'm doing, is using it as a guide. I would hate to do this and have the openings end up being upside down. Although that's not a bad idea either, because when you could rotate this book upside down if you really wanted to when you finish painting it. So let's just get this done again. I want to show you once again how picky you have to be about lining this up so that they don't stick to each other on a slant. I just love this tape. So there's my arrow showing the top. I've got the top lined up. So now I'll put it flat, again, keeping the left side up. And I'm just lining. Don't touch that left side yet. Now line it up once you know that everything's lined up. Then you can press the tape down. There we go. So you see how I could fold in whichever direction is required to make this accordion. So again, I'm just constantly putting those scrap ends that I call bookends in all the top pockets just to keep me focused, so I don't have to draw arrows anymore. I just stay focused on where the top openings are. So I went ahead and did the rest, and that 6 pages just wasn't enough. I did 6 at a time just because I was excited to get showing you. So I folded all of those, but you can see it's just not enough for an accordion book that I want. I need more pages, because if I was to fold this now as an accordion and stick that as a carousel, or stick it flat up on a shelf, there's just not enough pages. So I'm going to double the supply I used and make 12 in the same way. And I use scissors here to show you that you don't need an X-Acto knife. You can use scissors. So here's a book I made last year. Same line as what we're doing here, and I did it as well with watercolor paper. I love this. It's an accordion sketchbook, and I've just done some of the openings a little differently, where instead of having them at the top, I've got some of them on the sides. But what I love about this is I set it on a shelf up on a curio cabinet, just like that. And it looks lovely just as I walk by. I've got little tabs in here. Some of the openings are at the top. I could put, I could slip a card in there with a poem or something of importance special to me. But I love this, and we will make a cover for our book eventually. But also, this is what is so good about these, is you could do it the other way. Now it doesn't work so well with fanning it out when I do it this side. Oops. Yeah, because I need more pages. But if I do it this way, oops, if I do it this way, it shows more. So I've got, other than the covers, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's kind of nice to do an odd number because I want this end page, which would be here, I want that to line up the same way where it's this way on that side. And right now, I don't have that. I've got it, it's going to be facing the other way for the cover. So if I add another section to my pages, then it will end up like this. And that's what I want. You see what I mean? I want it to end like that so that I could set this on a curio cabinet as well and fan out all these beautiful colors. Plus, with more pages, I could always fan it out like a circle, like a carousel on top of a shelf as well. Have one more panel, and then we can get going. But this is where we're headed, people. Lots of fun. And the reason why I like to do these for display with heavy watercolor paper is it can really stand up to a lot of abuse and folding and moving around. Whereas if I do it with mixed media paper, it's more wobbly. It doesn't hold pockets as well. If you have tabs going in and out, this could easily be this way. Where you've got tabs, oops, got buried, but anyway, you know what I mean. So I know it's a little bit heavy doing watercolor paper, and it's a little harder to fold and deal with and to keep it. Remember, you want to keep everything very flush too, because this is the side that's, if you were to imagine it was a bound book, you want everything to be lined up here and lined up here. It won't be perfect. They won't be perfect here either, but this book's not going to be perfect. It's a DIY. Once I put a lot of paint on and things like that, things stick out. It's no big deal if it's not perfect. Also, later on when we make covers, we're going to make it just a little bigger than the pages we've done here. But the reason why I had to cut my beautiful watercolor papers for 6 by 6 is because I have arriving tomorrow from Amazon a new gel plate that's 6 by 6 inches. And I want to be able to do things on my gel plate and push it right onto one of these instead of doing a lot of tissue paper prints, collages. So that's why I did the 6 by 6. And now you can see why I need one more panel, and we'll get that started. So I've got the rest there. I've got my final one that I'm adding, my odd number. I've got my double-sided tape on all 3 sides, keeping in mind that this is up, because this is up. So let's get this glued down. I try not to touch the back here first. I try to line them up right to the edge of that tape here. At the same time, I'm trying to make sure that the bottom is flush. And then when I know the bottom is flush, I can press all 3 sides. And there we have it. So now you can see what I mean. That is going to open up beautifully as a shelf book and a display. We're going to put covers eventually on in there. And if we wanted to put it on display, I have you could use little clips. I'm just putting that there for now, but you could use a paper clip that sits flush, and then you could have this on a shelf and have it going on the top of a nice square shelf as a complete carousel. And what's nice is every day you can rotate it to something different that you want to look at. But the only difference is once you've got the thick cover here and here, you need something to pinch that shut. It might even stay shut on its own. If you didn't want pockets, you could have just double taped on all 4 corners when you put this together, and then you wouldn't have pockets. But I like the option of having them. Later on, if I decide I don't want to have it open, I can stick some PVA, this is professional bookbinding glue, which I love, and it's very powerful. You don't have to use a lot. So you could close up some of these tops if you want, but for now, I'm going to leave it like this. And I'm just going to erase those first arrows that I drew. What else I like about having heavy watercolor paper is I could throw a lot of water at this and not have it warp. So again, it's a thick book, but I love them. I absolutely love. Why do an accordion sketchbook if you can't open it up and then display it to people? So that's what we're gonna do. And because I do abstract art, it's just a matter of having the mood in a room. It depends on how you want to turn it around, what you want to display outward into the room. So it's fun, it's a good way. Sometimes I do these on a trip. It might be, this theme of the book might be inspired by wherever I am. You could do one with flowers, whatever it is that suits you. I've done one book where it was all desert scenes with watercolor. It was a very big accordion sketchbook. This is step one, the first video in my series of my accordion watercolor sketchbook. And I don't want to do covers right now because I would like to see, first of all, I don't want to get beautiful covers on here and then maybe accidentally get paint on them. So I want to paint my book first, both sides, and at the very end, I will be able to determine what kind of covers and colors I want to do on those covers. So we've got 4 or 5 videos coming up with this book series, and I'm really looking forward to it. Look in my playlist from previous ones, because the one I showed just on this video here that I had with the covers, I did a video series on that. So you can find that on my playlist. I'll put the link below, and you can follow that and maybe even take a look at that before you start doing this project. Anyway, it's just one more, like I say, every once in a while, I like to break things up from doing just paintings and show you fun bookmaking, because it is a passion of mine. So see you next time, where we get started with our book.